So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be doing another compilation video. We have some really good topics tonight. So on the docket, we're going to be discussing internet personality and entrepreneur Joie Chavis being 35 years old and pregnant by NFL star Trevon Diggs, who is 25 years old. I swear these cougars are at it. These cougars are definitely up 1,000 points. Next up, rapper Cardi B drops a new single, and this comes after her last single Like What that debuted a few weeks ago. Cardi has been clearly gearing up to possibly and hopefully drop an album. She dropped her latest song called Enough, also known as Miami, and the internet had their reactions to it, so I would love to share mine. And then lastly, Afrobeats star Wizkid goes on an Instagram rant, basically rejecting and trying to remove himself from the Afrobeats genre category. This is very weird, as Wizkid has been one of the pioneers of bringing Afrobeats into the Western world and has been successful and monumental in the music genre for well over a decade. So y'all know what to do. Label your comments on each of these stories, comment on one or all three. I'll try to read all of the comments per usual. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So our first story is Wizkid rejects Afrobeats. So Afrobeats star Wizkid, who has been active for a very long time, is one of the most well-known and successful musicians in the genre of Afrobeats. I feel like Wizkid was around during the beginning era of even other people like Burna Boy, and a lot of Wizkid's music has definitely transcended not only into the Western world, but just mainstream globally. If you remember Drake's song One Dance from back in 2016, Wizkid is featured on that song with minimal but still active vocals, and I feel like that really was the beginning of the Afrobeats wave into North America. Wizkid was definitely doing his thing well before, and for my Nigerians as well as all of my other Africans, especially West Africans that listen to Afrobeats, y'all know that Wizkid has been around. The song Essence featuring Thames was literally the biggest song he's had to date, and it literally took over 2020 and 2021. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing You Don't Need No Other Body, and that was an Afrobeat song. I feel like that song in particular made a lot of people start paying attention to Afrobeats even more, and definitely surged the focus on that type of sound, as well as other African genres such as Amapiano and different artists who were emerging in this category. So Wizkid is very established. I think he's one of those artists that a lot of people love. Yes, he has a messy personal life with the amount of baby mamas, but at this point, what rapper, musician, or entertainer doesn't? That notwithstanding, he took to his Instagram story to basically go off about his disassociation from Afrobeats and basically asking fans to stop considering him an Afrobeats artist. Here's what he had to say. I am not a effing Afrobeats artist. Don't call me that hoe. And if you like Afrobeats, please don't download my album. I am not Afrobeats anything, bitch. And please, I beg, if you like Pakuruma Wizkid, don't download this new album. In fact, delete me from your playlist and your life. One more, all you Niger blogs or media, don't post my shit when it drop. Una papa. First off, now Wizkid, this thing you they talk, we no sabi. Now this be Wizkid or Wizkidding, because is this a joke? So then he comes back with the following. He says, you lost people want someone to educate you. You got your phone, Google research it, or take a flight and see the world. Don't be ignorant and stupid all the time. Listen, am I African? Yes, but I do make all sorts of music. Fine music. But I don't want these labeled just Afrobeats. That's like saying every American artist makes rap. That's stupid. This is why no matter how good or amazing the music we make, be it R&B or whatever other genre, we all get nominated in one African category or the other. I've made songs from different genres of music. Made in Lagos is not an Afrobeats album. That is a fusion or different sound. Real music. The word Afrobeats was made up by y'all to put all we make into one box. Fela created Afrobeat. I make all sorts of music, fusions of sound. I am an artist before anything else. True to my art. Not scared to try shit. Now y'all go drink some milk. Now overall, I'll be real. I slightly, and I mean slightly, understand what he's trying to say, but the way how it's said, the randomness of how it's said, and the lack of accountability in what he said is why I'm gonna have to give it a no. Because no. I truly do understand that he does not want to be boxed into one genre, because as a musician who is experienced in this industry with different types of collaborations and has also crossed into a large demographic such as the United States listeners, he's been exposed and experimented with different sounds. But the music speaks for itself. He's an Afrobeats artist. He can get on a country beat, but with that accent and that pidgin, aka broken English, people are going to know that you derive from a West African or somewhat Afrobeat starting ground. And for him to blatantly attack and do this just randomly because I don't know who provoked him to say all of this to his viewers and his listeners and fans. I will never understand why artists do this. If it's a few comments that make you angry, so be it. That's normal. But to be calling people a hoe and the B word and telling people to delete your music from their playlist, why provoke the fans that literally make you who you are? And I saw Wizkid in concert last year at the Afro Nation concert in Miami, and I do plan on going to the one in Detroit this August. I'm not sure if they've released the lineup, but he performed pretty much all Afrobeat songs, and it's because he's an Afrobeats artist. I don't see that as boxing him in. I see that as categorizing you as what you're mostly known for, but not restricting you from dabbling in other music genres, because it does show versatility of an artist when they can do that. He's right, Afrobeats is not necessarily what we have called it to be. Afrobeat is more instrumental, and the great fella invented that and also promoted it during his time. What we're really listening to is more of like an Afro pop or Afro fusion, but I think collectively music listeners have labeled it as more of a new age Afrobeats because it's more digestible to foreign audiences when we can categorize it as an African sounding music. I don't know, a lot of these Nigerian artists are so sassy. They're so quick to snap. It's always something like, just relax, calm down. This man literally speaks Yoruba in almost every song, but we're supposed to disassociate you from African and or Nigerian music? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, you started working with American artists, but did you forget your roots? Because I remember when you were looking for Cairo. Like, what if I want to make you ginger and give you the kokoro? Will it make it Afrobeats? The craziest part within this whole rant, he says he's not an Afrobeats artist, but proceeds to speak pidgin English. Again, we know sabi you. I think some artists become very big and also big-headed that they want to disassociate from what made them even mainstream because they feel like they are elevating higher than what they're comfortable with. And that's not an issue, but to attack your fan base and kind of scold people for associating you with the same genre that has made you a global superstar, I cannot give Wizkid points for that. It's like some of these Nigerian artists in particular, the ego is literally just too much. I haven't really announced this, but the reason why I haven't been posting as much music is because I am transitioning over into Afrobeats and will be releasing an Afrobeats EP sometime this year. And I'm super excited to tap into that genre as it's very popular in the moment and it's still growing, and it's thanks to people like Wizkid and others. I don't think this rant is necessarily going to affect him. It's not going to affect his sales. It's not going to affect anything for real, but it definitely wasn't a good look for him to go on this rant. And for all of these other African artists, can y'all please stop trying to throw doo-doo chunks on the same music genre that has been popularized as a more positive and more enjoyable sound within the diaspora as of recent? People from different cultures have been enjoying Afrobeats, and to hear it on the radio after growing up with this sound since I was like age 0, it's come so far, and now is not the time to talk down or disassociate. So my next story is about rapper Cardi B dropping her latest single, Enough, also known as Miami. Off rip, I thought the hook was very catchy. I like the about to call diamond nuck if you buck. I like that. I did like the hook. Of course, Cardi killed the visuals as usual. She is literally 10 out of 10 on visuals every time. The looks were very sexual, which leads me to say that this song reminds me of a song that you hear in the club at Magic City. And to my ATL subscribers, is Magic City still popping? I went there like years ago and the strippers just weren't dancing enough for me. Like, I came with my ones, but I ended up just tipping my bartenders. One of the bartenders, she was beautiful, super sweet. I literally tipped her like $50. But anyway, I don't think the song is hittable enough, if that makes sense. No pun intended. I do think it's a cool song to listen to. Like, if this is just on her album, to me, it would just be like just another song. Again, I didn't hate it. I literally have heard worse from other artists, but I do think Cardi is trying. For me, this sounded like a slower version of her song Up. Maybe it's because she said, I said my ops linking up, and then in her song Up, she said, I said my face bomb ass tight. So it was very similar. And I don't know, it kind of sounds like Princess Diana by Ice Spice. I don't know, if you just go like, grah, keep it a stack, but just move out because they know I got bands on her beat that she just released, tell me it doesn't kind of sound similar with the beats. But I don't know if Party is still writing for her, but Cardi, I know I've talked my shit, but when it comes to business, I'm very serious. Let me write for you. I promise I got you. Either way, I don't even necessarily need to spend too much on this one. I just want to see what the album is going to entail. I do find it interesting that there's this rollout that she's doing right now. She's now dropped 2 single songs within like the last month. She's doing a lot of interviews. I'm seeing her on the blogs a lot more. And let's be honest, Cardi was waiting for the clear where she could do this. I think a lot of people try to downplay the politics of music. You can't drop when other people have huge shine and attention. So yes, she did wait for her opponents per se to finish their rollout for her to start her rollout. And I'm not mad at that. I mean, from a business standpoint, it would have been either a hit or miss for her to drop all of this while there was more attention on other artists. So she picked a good time to let the spotlight be a little bit more on her and just her. The song was cool, but I think it was typical. There was really nothing that different or extravagant about this song. I know people said her looks in the music video were similar to some of Nicki's old looks. I did see that, but I feel like a lot of these female rap artists are all one and the same, so that didn't necessarily bother me, but I know what y'all are talking about. Cardi is a great performer. I think her voice is what has made her stand out over the years because nobody has her voice in this industry. When you hear Cardi, you know it's Cardi. I will say one thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of her songs are just addressing her ops, addressing girls that's talking about her, saying how good her body looks, saying how people are scared of her or just affected by her. And I think those are subject lines that you throw in female rap songs. That's not the problem. However, when it starts to sound one and the same, we have to question, can she be versatile again? With her Invasion of Privacy album, there was an array of songs on there that gave us more of a variety in what her sound was. Her song Bongos was somewhat supposed to be a little bit more ethnic, and I say that very loosely. And I think for her next single, she should go more of the Latin route. We get it. You're a sexual siren, you make club bangers, and her engineering of her songs are kind of, let me say, a whole bunch of bars and then say this one last bar while the beat drops and it's supposed to hit. But I don't know, some of the bars were just a little bit too juvenile for me in this one. One in particular, she says, I'm litty, I'm pretty, I'm running the city, I'm shitting on bitches in every department. This ass is heavy and thick like peanut butter, these bitches be jelly about it. Like, I get what the bar was supposed to be, but it's just kind of lackluster. I feel like Cardi B is writing Instagram captions, which isn't that bad, but I don't think your whole song can be like that. You gotta throw those in there here and there and then give us a little bit more subject continual bars. Now, what I mean by subject continual bars is there's gonna be songs where you're just throwing out random lines, and so either the beat is carrying it or it all makes sense for every stanza. But in a lot of her songs, it's just a whole bunch of telling us that she's a boss, she's a baddie, her body looks good, she's a sexual icon, her sexual talents are up to par, hoes hating. We know. My critique is that this was cool. Again, didn't necessarily hate it, but it didn't really do anything for me. I liked watching the video more than the song. And of course the beat was good. I think her selections on that are always pretty good. But for your next single, go the Latin route. The I Like It song that she had on her first album was a global hit for a reason. And right now I think what is setting some artists apart, and I don't necessarily mean just in rap music, I mean in general, is having some type of cultural spin to your music. I mean, I'm gonna bring up Afrobeats again, but there's a reason why people took a liking to it, and it's because even if you don't understand the lyrics, hearing something that's foreign to the ear but still has a great beat has been working and being enjoyed by a lot of people. That's just my suggestion if anyone from Cardi's team is listening. Let me know your thoughts on her latest single and let me know your thoughts on my suggestion for her. I'm still looking forward to this album, so hopefully by summertime we hear something and we'll just go from there. So our third and final story is about internet personality and entrepreneur Joie Chavis being pregnant by her boyfriend who is 10 years her junior. Joie Chavis is 35 years old and her NFL boyfriend Trevon Diggs is 25 years old. Now my sentiments on this are very similar to what I said about Drea, who is currently 39 years old and pregnant by a 21-year-old NBA player. When I tell you Cougars are up, Cougars are definitely up 1,000 points. Y'all better go get you one of these. Just don't get pregnant by them. Now the thing with Joie Chavis is that similar to Drea but still a bit different, she has 2 other children just like Drea, yet all 3 of Joie's baby daddies are well-known entertainers. Her first child is by Bow Wow, who was a child star, singer, and really one of the lovable celebrities that we all grew up with. Her second child is by Future, who is a huge rapper in hip-hop, and we all know he has a Noah's Ark full of children. I'm not sure why she decided to associate herself with that, but whatever at this point. And now her third child is by an NFL star, Trevon Diggs, who currently plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Now maybe it's unnecessary for some of y'all, but I like to look up the earning potential of all of these men because it's just interesting to me, and I think it definitely plays a role in a lot of these decisions that these women are making. So it says that Trevon Diggs signs a 5-year, $97 million contract with the Dallas Cowboys, including a $21 million signing bonus, $42 million guaranteed, and an average annual salary of $19 million. In 2024, Diggs will earn a base salary of $11 million while carrying a cap hit of $15 million and a dead cap value of $28 million, aka Buddy is paid. I wouldn't be surprised if he's making more money than some of the other baby daddies. And I have to bring up money because I still don't know what the outright relatability and connection someone 35 would have with someone 25. I do think that by the time you hit 25, age gap isn't as deep because I think 25 is where you actually can consider yourself a true adult, even though yes, you're still growing and evolving. Now, unlike Drea's situation where Jalen Green does not have any other children, Trevon Diggs does have other children. And I think that's why it's not as polarizing to the general public that Joy is now pregnant pregnant with his third child. Trevon has 2 kids, one that's about 7 or 8 and the other one that's about 2 or 3. I just think there's a narrative being pushed with a lot of these examples. Of course, this is people's personal lives and they're free to do whatever they want, as everyone here is an adult, but I can't help but notice how common and frequent this is becoming. We had Larsa Pippen, who was almost 50, dating a 26-year-old. We had Drea, who was almost 40, dating a 21-year-old. We have Joy, who was 35, dating a 25-year-old. We had NLE Choppa, who was 21, who now has a baby with someone who's about to be 28 this year. We have LaMelo Ball, who was an NBA player who was only 22, who's dating an Instagram model named Anna Montana, who is 34. And I'm pretty sure there are others. Y'all can drop some down below. Is it weird for me to think that there's some type of trend or something being pushed? Again, I don't even think having a sexual partner or boyfriend who is significantly younger or older than you is the issue for me, because it's not. But having a decade plus on somebody and then procreating with them is where I think a lot of these women need to be honest with their intentions. I don't care that you could be 30 and still pull somebody in their 20s. A lot of women can. So for a lot of you that's going to comment and say that people are just mad, there's a lot of regular women in their 30s that can pull a man in their 20s. That's not a flex, that's very common. Walk outside. Stop trying to make it seem like 30s is old, because it's not. But I don't know, to me it just seems kind of disgusting with the intention that a lot of these women are doing this with. And I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna get dragged. Here comes the pick me and me coming out. Okay, crucify me. But a lot of these women are either ran through or they've been around and they get around. Hence why it's easier for them to attract a younger man who either doesn't care that much or maybe just doesn't know the extent of how much someone has been around, and that's why they're making their choices. Yes, I know some of y'all want me to drag these men, and we can, but at the same time, if me at 26 got with a 36-year-old, y'all would still drag the older person because y'all expect them to know better. I'm tired of people saying, oh yeah, as they should. If a man was doing this, does it matter? What is right or wrong? Before you blame it on a man or a woman, what is right or wrong? Because a lot of people will say, oh, a man should never put his hands on a woman. But if a woman hits a man, it's like, oh, well, don't hit her back as a man. And of course not. But it doesn't matter the gender. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Ask that question before you say anything about gender. We expect these older people to associate themselves with their peers. We expect them to have life experience to make a different choice. But that's not the case. I also want to add this. I do think between Drea and Joy and the other examples I listed, if any of these women were unambiguous Black women, the reaction would be much more worse. And yes, it's not always all about race, but I'm not about to act as if their aesthetic being more palatable to society doesn't warrant them the privilege and perception. If this was a Black woman who was coming out with 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies, there would be a lot more social uproar about it. And I don't make the rules. That's just what it is. And I do want to point that out because this ambiguous look of women do have certain privileges. And it's no hater shit. They're all beautiful. I will never say that they aren't, but I know that the optics makes it less severe to society than if it was some way else. And yes, a lot of these girls are after the money, because for anyone to have a baby by Future, for anyone to sign up to be somebody's, I don't know, 6th or 7th baby mama, I don't know where she falls in the line, you knew good and well what you were doing. Stop giving these grown women the excuse of, oh, it's love, it's genuine, it's this, it's that. It is not, okay? These are grown women we're talking about. They know what they're doing. And again, I'm never mad at a girl for getting with a higher earning man, but your intentions will always be in question for me. None of these women are married, have been married, looking for marriage, and some people may say, oh, not everyone wants to be married, but I find it interesting to say that when we talk about the family structure that is needed for Black children and or children of color. But then there are women who are making choices like this, and oftentimes it's brushed under the rug. If you're on your 3rd baby daddy, I hope that's your husband. But if it's just another boyfriend, where rumors have stated that Joy and Trevon have been on and off, I don't see why bringing a baby into this world would be the next step. But hey, I'm just a broke hater from the outside looking in. Lastly, I don't think Joy got as much backlash because both her and Trevon have young kids, and their age gap is not as severe as Drea. But I will say Cougars are up 1,000 points, and it's just interesting to see this trend being replicated in other couples within entertainment. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, go follow me on TikTok. I have some new ones on there. My link is pinned down below to my latest TikTok. Check me out and follow me. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Oh, hail the queen, QC, yeah, she is risen. Presents is a gift, so I come with the ribbon. Internet told me stop rapping, I ain't listen to them. No, I really got more bars in the prison system, right? Yeah, one beef, step into the kitchen. Murder flows, you could suspect, I am not the victim. Beat queen, D's on that bitch like we with the Pistons. Red cherry, red bottoms, I know how to pick them. Always got a secret plan, I don't do the fighting. Shorty is a secret fan, yeah, she ghost riding. Brown skin beauty with a booty, show time. Go off on a tangent, I don't need a cosign. 12 baddies with me, they are cheaper by the dozen. Hot girl straight up out the microwave oven. Gotta bring a chicken man before you get the stuffing. In this beat going crazy, snapping on percussion. Chioma at the top, I'm the #1 prospect. Beat from Lakia when she slid on Cosmic. Told him come here, boo, I'm tryna make your jaw stiff. I got no pics, but I wanna see your pockets. Big glossy lips, trying them out like a faucet. Speak chickenese, so I put them in a cockpit. Cooking in the studio, call me Dirty Crockett. Gingerbread baby running fast like Sonic. It's commendable, was a ceremony, but now it's a festival. New money now, so you gotta move a decimal. Presidential suite, and it's looking all congressional. I'm so delectable, pull your queen card, cause mine is a collectible. Better mind your business and stay off my genitals. Probably make them high, cause my body's like an edible. Wait, let me stop, cause I'm trying to be professional. Damn. I know that's what y'all said when you heard that verse. Y'all was like, damn. Respectfully though, we on Victoria Island. Like it's gullah gullah, sun on my melanin. Working on my color, bubblegum pink fit. Chew you out like hubba bubba, need my check Friday. I'm calling you a mora soca. She naked me, baby, I'm so fine. I damn wine, be sweet like palm wine. Now onye kele ya, come say hi. I see so, baby, no be long time. Go dumb on the beat, but I'm chilling with the smarty guys. Melanin militia on, go on with the army wives. Pull up with the van, he gotta go, now it's starry skies. Big body, bad black girl, I'm looking party side.